can't think of a better way to start a season. I thought a very accomplished performance from a young group of players.
Yeah, absolutely. I think there's a little bit of nervousness in maybe the first 10-15 minutes. A couple of lads making their debuts, Alex and Sean. But I think probably after 20 minutes or so of the first half, I thought we got better and better, created some decent opportunities. And then I think in the second half, I thought we dominated the game in the right areas of the pitch. Thought we run over them a little bit. We looked to get stronger and stronger. Just shows how sort of fit the boys are at this moment in time, which is a good sign. And some of the play, obviously, in the wide areas and around the edge of the box was excellent.
It felt like you really picked up the tempo in the second half, maybe one less touch at times than perhaps was in the first half.
Yeah, no, there's no doubt about that. I think there was probably 2 or 3 occasions, maybe even more in the first half, where we kept playing down the same side of the field and didn't look to switch the play. Thought we did that much better in the second half, because that's where the goal come from. But yeah, we kept getting in time and time again, in around the edge of the box, certainly in them wide areas, and create some really good opportunities.
Your first goal, I'm sure, is the sort of goal that you would love and the sort of goal you'd like your team to score. It starts with your centre half playing the ball forward. Yeah,
absolutely. It was a good first pass, beat the first press. They pressed quite high in the first part of the field, a little bit passive in the middle, and then obviously we knew that once we beat that first press, if we got the next pass right, that was the most important one, the second pass, then we'd have opportunities, and that's what happened.
You didn't give them too many chances in the second half, but ironically they score in the second half. Obviously disappointed to concede.
Yeah, I mean, obviously at the goal we actually scored, we'd actually worked on it 2 or 3 times, from the corner, believe it or not, getting across that near post area. But then for us to concede before that, we were free-headed in the 6-yard box. Very disappointing, but I suppose the way the players reacted from that, regrouped very, very quickly, is a credit to them.
It looked like something you'd been working on in training, the near post header from perhaps Tom Hopper to cause some problems from the corners, but you can't always practice a finish like that from a centre half, can you? It's a terrific finish from him.
No, he's got good technique. I think everyone's aware of that. Everyone, when we first signed him, didn't know who he was, but they've seen the YouTube videos and clips, and he strikes a good ball, left foot and right foot, and I suppose the good thing about it is, if he was going to miss, he was going to miss the stand, weren't he? It was one of them where he wasn't just like putting his foot there and just dangling his leg there to try and get good contact. He backed himself with his technique, and it was a great finish. And
what's great though is that he did it along with TJ, a centre half, a makeshift pairing to some extent. They did their job as well at back.
Yeah, they did. They did, no doubt about it. In an ideal world, we'd like to have at least one senior member as a central defender. Obviously, we've got 2 of them who. One's injured, one's carrying a little bit of a knock, and hopefully that'll improve. And obviously TJ predominantly is coming in to play right back, So yeah, you're right. It was a little bit makeshift. I think when you add to that 2 fullbacks making the debut, or the senior starts, it was good. It was good start, and it's good for belief. Winning's a good thing, and if you can create a little bit of momentum, even in this very, very early part of the season, I think it helps all players from a confidence point of view.
And great for Sean making his debut. Had some difficult moments defensively in the first half, but came through them, was coming forward second half, and showed what a good left foot he's got as well.
Absolutely, and I think the difference in the first half and the second half, he was more aggressive. He was more like the Sean Rowan that we know, and the reason why he's playing today. And I had no hesitation whatsoever playing him in the game. So yeah, he got more aggressive. He got in the wide player's face a little bit more. And I think if you look at the second half as a whole, I think he dominated the wide player more than what the wide player did with him in the first half.
And we thought Tom playing up top today, he looked a leaner player than perhaps we'd seen last season. Obviously well clear of those injury problems he'd had before he came to Lincoln. He looked a player on another level perhaps from what we saw last season.
I hope so. I think I would say the last probably 3 or 4 games before COVID, I thought we see the real Tom Hopper. Obviously he got his couple of goals in the Burton game, but prior to that he was really aggressive in some of the games before that, and we started to see the real him. I think it might have helped Callum come in the building yesterday as well. I think that always helps. It always sharpens the mind and the body when you see a player coming in the building. So that helps. So that's good. But no, you're right. You led the line, especially in the second half. There was a couple of things in the first half I think he'll be disappointed about, but in the second half he led the line really well.
And nice you mentioned Callum. He looks a character. You know, the socks around the ankles, got an attention from us, but he rapid for fans who hadn't seen him before, and he's going to really add something to this squad, isn't he?
He is, yeah. There's no doubt about it. He'll give us a certain kind of option up top. Loves running in behind, wants to run in behind. Harry defenders, never gives them a second, and he wants to improve. And I genuinely believe that's why West Brom allowed him to come to us, because the one thing that I think we can improve him in is with his back to play and working as a build-up player, not just someone who's going to keep running in behind and chasing lost causes. So yeah, excited to work with him, and hopefully we can keep the likes of him and Hops as fit as we possibly can throughout the season.
So great start to the season. Just on the injury front, where are we with the likes of Liam Bridkirk? Jackson obviously made the bench as well. Are you hopeful for next Saturday and the start of the league campaign?
I am hopeful, yeah, I am hopeful. Liam potentially might be with us training next week. I think Tuesday's game might come a little bit too soon for him, but he certainly will be joining in with the group. Jacko, it was just one of them where we just felt an extra training session on Monday. He can do a little bit, as you can see after the game today. I felt that was going to be more beneficial for him and us in the long run to wait till Tuesday.
All in all, we've got used to it. It's weird being here without the fans, but at least those back in Lincolnshire and watching around the world and listening around the world have got hopefully a smile on their face. Yeah,
that's what it's all about, isn't it? It's one of them where we lose a game of football. We all have bad weekends. I can assure you no one has a worse weekend than me. I think sometimes it's helped by a good performance, because you can see where the team are going. But we got both today. We got a decent performance and a